Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
Today's topic is entitled Gentile Christianity, Salvation Without Obligation. Salvation without obligation. In the world, you have two gospels. You have Esau's gospel, and you have Jacob's gospel. Two different types. One that guarantees salvation for Israel, and one that guarantees salvation for the devil and all his angels, with the other nations. With the coons under them, the two-thirds and friends. So we're going to get 2 Corinthians 11 and 4. 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 4. Now, this class is not going to be easy, so I need y'all to pay attention. I better talk less, you're going to be confused. I ain't going over it again. 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 4.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 4.
Now, normally these scriptures are used to confound our people because they don't read the Bible enough, so these scriptures are used to manipulate us into believing that salvation comes without obligation. You can pretty much get saved and not do a damn thing. Just believe and have faith, and that's it, and he died, and just be a wicked as hell in faith, which is nonsense. Read that.
For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if he received another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
Read again.
For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus.
This he will be Edom, because another Jesus will be the white one, the Caucasoid one, the red one, the pale-faced one. That's the other Jesus he's referring to. Because it was known by our forefathers, the prophets, that they were going to have Edom was going to rise up and raise with their own Messiah, along with his own gospel. They were going to use it to deceive not only our people, but the whole world. Okay, go ahead.
Whom we have not preached.
Whom was not taught by the disciples or the apostles. Go ahead.
Or if you receive another spirit, which
another
we
spirit
have
goes into the role reversal, where now women are pastors now, women are bishops, the men are all effeminized, women are masculine, men are emasculated, women are made masculine. There's a whole role reversal going on. All right, another spirit.
Yeah, merge the world.
Right, with the church, right.
Yeah, with the church.
Merge the world, right, exactly. Go ahead.
Or if you receive another spirit which ye have not received, or another gospel which ye have not accepted.
Or another gospel. Another gospel will be a gospel that guarantees salvation for all people. And all people don't require to be saved in the first place. Saved from what? All nations can be saved from what? What are they being saved from? So again, that's another gospel. That's another good news for someone the good news doesn't belong to. The other nations are going to get bad news, not good news. In fact, our good news is their bad news. So they made our good news theirs also. Go ahead. Right, salvation from sin, right. Go ahead.
Ye might well bear with them.
Meaning correct them, blast it. Get Galatians 1 verse 6.
I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Christ unto another gospel.
Paul said, I hope you don't get pulled out of this truth. Hope you remain steadfast. I'll marvel if you fall out. Go ahead.
Which is not another, but there be some that trouble you.
Read the bottom of verse 6 again, the bottom of it.
That called you into the grace of Christ unto another gospel.
Unto another gospel. Go ahead.
Which is not another.
Why? Because they use the same book. They use the same precepts, the same verses, the same letters of Paul, The same disciples, the same letters to the disciples. They use the same exact thing, but they teach something opposite of what the gospel is saying. Go ahead.
But there be some that trouble you
And would some that trouble you. Go ahead.
and would pervert the gospel of Christ.
We face it out on YouTube. Some that trouble us and would pervert the gospel. Go ahead.
But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
Let them be accursed. If they teach something contrary to what you was taught already, you let them be accursed. That goes for the 2/3 and friends. That goes for the heathens. That goes for all of them. Let them be accursed. Go ahead.
For do I now persuade men or God?
You're in verse 9. That's verse 9. That was 10. Verse 9.
Oh, excuse me. Verse 9. As we said before, so say I now again. If any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed.
So he says it again. Just in case you hear the first time, saying it to you again. They preach a foreign gospel, let them be accursed, meaning they're condemned, doomed. That's what he's saying. Now let's get Hebrews 3, verse 16. Let's see what gospel. People always hear heathens ask that question in their fancy. What's the gospel? Why don't you push the gospel? You know how Esau talks. What's the gospel? Hear it all the time.
Yeah, he gonna know today.
What's the
gospel?
gospel?
He gonna know that today.
You're not pushing the You're not pushing the gospel. Hear it all the time. Why don't you push the gospel? Why don't you push the gospel?
Yeah. You know another word that why they're not honoring us. Really, that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
why
you
they're
love
not
us?
honoring?
Why don't you love me?
Who teach you that? Why you not honoring us? We give you a gospel to honor us.
Yeah.
Why are you not honoring us?
Yeah. Hebrews 3, verse 16. Let's see what the gospel is. Watch this.
Hebrews chapter 3.
When you encounter these heathens with this nonsense about what's the gospel, you're going to read this right here. And just stay there. Don't go nowhere else. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere else. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 3, verse 16. For some, when they had heard, did provoke. Howbeit, not all that came out of Egypt by Moses.
Who's this talking about? Talking about Israel. Go ahead. Those that provoked. Go ahead.
But with whom was he grieved 40 years?
Who's that? Israel. Go ahead. So hold on. Y'all sure? Y'all sound confused. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned?
That had what?
Was it not with them that had sinned?
Right, what's sin? Who got the law? There you go. Go ahead.
Whose carcasses fell in the wilderness?
Why? Because the first generation walked around in circles for 40 years and they dropped dead. And only Joshua and Caleb were allowed into the promised land. Do y'all recall that? Go ahead.
And to whom sware he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not?
Go ahead.
So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief.
The first generation, but Joshua and Caleb, out of the first generation, they did believe, and they were allowed in. Next chapter and verse. Watch this. It continues. Remember, chapters and verses are added for reference. It's this one long letter. So he does not stop at chapter 3. He continues in chapter 4, verse 1 to 2. Go ahead.
Let us therefore fear.
Let us therefore fear, unlike our forefathers did, who caused the Lord anger and provocation for 40 years. Don't be like them. Go ahead.
Lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it.
Because he promised us, the rest he promised us back then, it was not the rest that was temporal. The rest he's promising us now in Christ is forever. You understand? It's forever. So he's saying, don't fall for that. Don't fall like your forefathers did in the wilderness when they were offered to get rest in the promised land. They didn't get it. They dropped dead. Don't you fall into the same thing as them. Because we're promised eternal rest. Go ahead, watch this. Read verse 1 again.
Let us therefore fear, lest the promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it.
Watch this, verse 2.
For unto us was the gospel preached.
Stop. For unto us, Laba, us, read again.
For unto us was the gospel preached.
Was what preached?
The gospel preached.
For unto us, the disciples, was the gospel preached. Watch this.
As well as unto them.
Stop. As well as unto them. Who's the them?
Israelites.
Israel when? In the wilderness. So what is the gospel? The gospel is the laws of God. That's the gospel. Coupled with faith in Christ. That's the gospel. But it pertains to the Israelites. Reading verse 2 again.
For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them.
And so the same gospel we received from Christ was the same gospel Moses gave to Israel in the wilderness. It's the same gospel. Nothing changed. It pertained to Israel. It was given to Israel, for Israel. That was it. And we had our little pets with us, our little slaves, our little dogs with us. They were present there. The new argument is, well, we were heathens that were there. Of course they were. Let me give you an example. Let's say my dad says, I'm a child. My father says to me, listen, I'm going away for a while. Keep this house clean. And my pet is there. My dog is there present. Does that pertain to him? Is he talking to my dog? No, that's what heathens are to us. They're the pets. They're your pets. They're present. You know? What is the dog's name? Cujo. Let's eat him. Cujo. Listen, Master said, Dad said we got to wash dishes. He ain't talking to the dog. The dog is he's present. He's in the audience. But he's not talking to them. They were there because their master had laws to follow. And they had to follow suit. Right? For example, if your dog at the doghouse, he got to follow your rules in your house anyway.
But Deacon Athan, the white folks understand that. Even though signing the civil, whatever laws they pass, they was not signed it for us.
Right,
We were still in captivity.
Right.
So their laws, we know they had nothing to do with us at that time.
Right.
Now we so coolest now, we say that we involved in it. But the white man knew his laws was only for white folks.
Right.
Hey, John, I got a perfect one for you. You know how in the Constitution, right, it says that all man is created equal.
Right.
Right? When the white man wrote that law, and did he mean everybody is equal? Who was he was referring to? He was talking about his peers, the Edomites, the white people that's ruling. All of them is equal because back then a slave couldn't testify in court against another against the so-called white man. A slave he was considered 3/5 of a man. He was considered property. So, right. So when they said all man is created equal in the Constitution, they talking about themselves. They ain't talking about it.
Right. The Bible, it says all men is referring to all Israelite men. That's our Constitution. It don't pertain to y'all. Well, unless, of course, you're referring to the slave laws, then it pertains to you. If that's any joy to you,
Yeah, Deacon Athan, there was a lawyer told me that, a white lawyer told me that, so-called Jew lawyer. He's saying that, I'm sorry to tell you that, black man, these laws is not applying to your guys. So what the hell the white people talking about?
Go ahead, Deacon. Because Deacon Malachi made the point. I just wanted to make sure that y'all fully understood what he was talking about. The actual case in history is the Dred Scott decision.
Right.
That was the actual case where that actually came up, where they said it was erroneous for this man to try to sue in a court where he's 3/5 of a man. That's what that was. They said it was erroneous.
Wow. Acts 15. So now we know the gospel was preached to. It was preached to the disciples as well as unto our forefathers who died in the wilderness because of unbelief of it. They did not believe it. They didn't have any faith. Matter of fact, go back to Hebrews again. I think I missed something. Hebrews 4:2 again. Go back to that.
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 2.
Yeah.
For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them.
Uh-huh.
But the word preached did not profit them,
Why? Go ahead.
not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
That's the part. Read again, the top.
For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them.
Go ahead.
But the word preached did not profit them.
But the word is the gospel. He's calling the gospel the word now. But the word, which is a law, preached unto them, go ahead.
Not being mixed with faith
They didn't have any faith along with it, go ahead.
in them that heard it.
That's why they would offer up all kind of messed up animals. Lame animals, sick animals, one eye, one on crack. They didn't care. They didn't care about it. They said, listen, man, whatever, here's an animal. I'm sure I'll be fine. Because their faith was not there, because the animal was a sign of your faith. The stronger the animal, the best your faith was. Then, of course, Christ was a shadow of those things. You understand? But Israel didn't care. They said, hell with that, man. Here, just give him a lamb with one leg. He'll be all right. It's still breathing, right? Who cares? That's what their mind was.
I'm glad you say that, brother. Because you saying that depend what their work was, that's where their faith was leaning at. Meaning that if they didn't give a perfect animal, that means their faith was weak.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whoever give the perfect animal, there was those who believed that I messed up. I confessed it. I got to give the best for what I did.
Right.
But the wicked Israelite, they say, you know what? Like you said, the hell with that. Just give him the animal they're about to get killed. Just give. That's your faith.
Or give him a sick one.
That's your faith.
Yes.
It's the same faith we deal with Israelite today.
Right.
You understand? Some of us, we are about the commandments. Some of us, we don't.
Or you have some, if you flip it around, you have some who offer the best animals and do the worst things behind closed doors. We flip it around. They didn't believe, they had no faith either. They offer animal, I committed sin, oh well, I'll offer an animal, I'll be all right. Because they lack faith as well, along with their works. Either one or the other.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.